All right, let's be honest. What's the one of the hardest things about working out is I think it's preparing. I think it's knowing what you're going to do before you go to the gym or before you step into your living room to do that home workout. So what Strong Tower training does for you is gives you that workout right there in the palm of your hand. You don't have to think about it. All you gotta do is do it. So go to stnutrition.com. Hit the link that says training and then go from there. You get free 7-day trial. Try it out for a whole week, see how it makes you feel. And see how easy it is to just pay attention and just see those workouts and just get them done. So go to stnutrition.com. Try out Strong Tower Training. Today I'm talking to Kendall Daniels. He's a friend of mine that we used to work together as personal trainers. And today we wanted to get into if these fitness enthusiasts or these fitness influencers are actually truthful about what they do and what they say, or are they just putting on an act? So we talk about, how we feel about the older day bodybuilders that didn't really tell us that they were using steroids, but instead told us to, eat our food, work hard, be a good person, and stuff like that. So we get into that a lot, and we talk about fitness and health and how the world's changed because of it. So enjoy this episode with Kendall Daniels. It's my foundation. It's my faith. It's my work ethic. It's my drive. It's everything that I've tried to build for myself that has made me who I am. I'll do what it takes to make you believe. All right, so I guess we'll get right into it, man. What was the question that you asked me, and what was your purpose behind it? What made you think about it?
Well, one thing I wanted to talk about, especially with somebody like you, was, how many of us, when I mean us, I mean the tens of thousands of young men and young women who, followed after a lot of our icons, idols, the bodybuilding gods. How many of us were ultimately misled and miseducated, and what was the fallout of that? I think I thought what made me think about this was I saw a interview. I forget the guy's name, but he was talking to Ronnie Coleman, I think it was Dorian Yates and a bunch of other people. And for years, I think it's probably 2020, you might have seen this. I totally forget my guy's name. But, Ronnie's sitting down with him. And, till this day, you can see he still doesn't like to say that, he took steroids and stuff like that. But, ultimately the guy's like, so you were using stuff for performance enhancers and things like that. He was like, well, yeah, you can say that. Mm-hmm. And it's just at this point, you might as well come out with it. Yeah. Retired, all that stuff. I just think about myself. So just personal experience. You probably have experiences also. A lot of us have experiences. Ronnie Coleman, I say Ronnie Coleman because that was the top dog. Yeah. And it's you want to be like Mr. Olympia. You want to look like Mr. Olympia. That's the allure of it. Right. He's the most fit, best body in the world. And I remember early 2010s, okay, look, let me follow this, follow that. I was eating, I could close my eyes and see his diet and meal plan. Yeah. And it's eating 2 cups of rice during one sitting, mm-hmm. and chicken. And, people will look at me and be like, are you really going to eat an entire full bowl of that? And I would do it. And it was normal to me. I'm like, yo, this is what the king does. I'm trying to get bigger, stronger, you know, get the best physique I can. And then as you get older, become more educated, you're like, why did I do that?
Right. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I kind of started off the same way. I had Ronnie Coleman. I had Jay Cutler was a big one for me. And seeing the battle that those two went through throughout the years and just watching the videos, because back then you had videos like full hour like compilations of them training, and it's just over and over again, and you got to see how they train and see how they eat. And I think a lot of people focus on the steroid part too much. I think they so I myself have used steroids, so I know how much of a part they are to everything else. And that's what it is. It's just a slice of the pie. If I was just taking if I was just taking them and I wasn't training like I needed to and I wasn't eating like I needed to, I would just be fat. I would just gain size. Because it blew me up pretty quick. And but I think people kind of push that aside and say, oh, well, he's on steroids. And of course, to get their size, of course, to get their size, you have to use something. To be that big is abnormal. It's not normal for your body. It's not good for your health. And, you don't know that. When I was looking at the magazines, I didn't know that they were on steroids. I thought they were just training for a long time, and they train heavy and all that kind of stuff. But I think what does need to happen is they do need to be vocal about it. It's what I try to portray. Like when I talk about it, I was scared to tell people, but now I've been off it for a while, so I don't have the problem. And
why were you scared to tell people?
Just because of their thoughts, like what they would think.
Narrative.
Yeah. They would just be like, oh, I thought he just like worked out all the time, but he was using steroids. Because people also don't know the science behind them. So they don't know how much of a contribution it makes to your body. Yeah, it works pretty quick. Like I probably gained 30 pounds within less than a month. So, yeah. But I wasn't using them correctly. And I think that's a big problem too, is you got young kids doing what I did and making that choice to use them, but then you don't really know how. I was doing all the type of research I could, but in the end, I don't know what I did to my body for, long term. So, I'm just waiting to see on that. But I feel fine. I have no problems doing anything. So, yeah.
That's the one thing why, what I always told myself is I'll try almost anything except going all the way to, steroids.
Right.
Just because all of the research and things. And I look at, Ronnie Coleman now, Flex Wheeler. Who else is it? CT Fletcher. I mean, guys like this who, push their body to the extreme, like beyond, human capacity and how they are in their older age. Then I think you posted it. That's how I found out about Mountain Dog. And it's like I just found out about this guy in 2020, started watching his videos. He had a lot of stuff on, how to bodybuild and do things, gain size if you're, natural, that type of stuff. And then it's just like, damn, he passes away. And he said, when he was younger and competed, he did it. So I was always like, I'll go, I'll go to all the steps before I do that because I just don't know what's going to do to my body later on.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. But
And
like John Meadows had a health condition, and I think that's what he died from. Yeah, it wasn't steroids, but what you see a lot of bodybuilders. Yeah, dude. If you follow Generation Iron, they've been posting like a bodybuilder death every week. It seems like.
Wow.
But it's not really from the steroids per se. I think it's a lot of from diuretics. So diuretics, you know, people are taking to pull water out of you or pull anything they need out to make them make their skin thinner, you know, because bodybuilding isn't a healthy sport. You know, you can look at the bodybuilders and that's the whole point of it. That's the whole point of them being big and them being freakish is because it draws attention, you know, and I feel, and that's why the classic physique was created. That whole division is because Arnold was pushing for that. Like he wanted people that looked the way he did.
Yeah.
You know, but back then that's what drew people towards him, was seeing him. But now when people got bigger, you know, when Dorian Yates came up and then Ronnie Coleman and Lee Haney, all them were like freaks.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what people wanted to see. They wanted to see freaks. They didn't want to see just a regular guy that had a beach body. You know, and to them, that's what Arnold was.
Yeah.
So, I know people that have just, you know, they want to be a freak, so they've been taking stuff. So not only steroids, but they take insulin, HGH. Stuff like that, man. And it's crazy. But again, it's their choice. If they want to make that choice to do that with their body, you know, you really have to sit and think about it. But if you have kids looking up to you, I feel like you should tell them what you actually do. Don't just say you work hard and, you know, you train insane and you eat this much amount of food. You know, put everything together and tell them and say, and I use this.
Full transparency, man.
Right.
I think there was like a documentary on Netflix probably like 3 or 4 years ago. I think Mark Bell.
Yeah, Bigger, Stronger, Faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Bell's brother.
It was about it was like this model he was like a fitness model. And the guy was like, you know, don't you feel bad about, you know, selling these supplements to people, but you're not telling them that you're also taking steroids?
Yeah.
He was like, well, it's up to them to believe. If they want to believe that I got this way just by taking this, that's on them. Right. I'm just like, dang. Yeah. I'm like, yo, is that everybody's attitude?
Yeah, man. I mean, that's the point of business and marketing and all that kind of stuff, you know. And I mean, he kind of has a point. Yeah. If you want to be tricked by that, and if you want to pay attention to that, that's up to you. But if you want to do the deep dive and just really look into what this guy actually takes, you know, because even the most regular bodies are probably taking something that you don't realize. You know what I mean? Like when I took them, I didn't look like a freak, but I was 250 pounds at 5'8", and, you know, I was having trouble breathing and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, after doing it for a couple of years, I was just like, nah, man, I'm not doing this no more. Because my goal was to be a pro bodybuilder. That was the whole point. Yeah. That was the whole point of me doing it. It wasn't just to lift heavy in the gym. I wasn't that kind of guy. Yeah. You know, my goal was to be a pro bodybuilder, and I knew that's what it took to have to become that. And then after my second show, we, you know, ended up getting a house and starting life. You know, I started life with my wife, got married, got a house, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I don't really want to bodybuild anymore. You know, I want to gear towards helping other people. And later in life, I just became more about health and, you know, just being better about yourself and confidence and self-love and mental health and all these things that you can do for yourself. And And I think the pandemic actually pushed me even harder to promote health, more than anything. Because, once this comes to a slowdown and we can become to live with it, people are just going to go back to what they were doing. They're not going to exercise. They're not going to try and eat better, which is what helps your immune system and helps you fight off viruses a little better.
Which is crazy because it's like nothing really changed. I could probably say for like guys like you and I, nothing really changed. I think quarantine, the pandemic, that really separated everybody.
Yeah.
Like the blessing in disguise that came to me was my daughter being born. So my daughter was born in January and the pandemic happened in March. So I knew I'm a person who learns from experience. I'm the youngest child in my family. I learned through seeing what others do. So I knew when most guys in the gym disappear, most of them usually have a kid or something.
Right.
And it's like, I need to, like Christmas time, I'm like, I need to get a total gym. I need to get everything on sale because I know when this baby comes, I'm not going to be able to go out to the gym 6 days a week, train 18, 20 hours a week. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to, adjust my workout and stuff. And when quarantine hit, the gyms was closed. I was still getting it in the basement.
Yeah.
So when we came back, came back to, everybody got back to work and everything, I saw everybody in the gym. I'm like, what happened to y'all, man?
Yeah.
I'm like, y'all didn't look like this before. But it's like, again, I continue, immune system and all that stuff that people are just learning about. We've been doing that. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we never missed a beat, skipped a beat. I mean, multivitamins and all that, that's just part of the normal routine. That's part of the diet. That's part of your
man,
just whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I have like a 9-to-5 job where I'm considered essential because I do security. So that never stopped for me. And after I stopped training at Retro, I started just working out at my house, and I was training people at my house. So I have a full setup in my basement. So, and I kind of like boycott gyms now. Just because I feel like they're all run the same. After seeing how owners treat gyms and then treat the members and stuff like that, I just don't want to go there. There's so much of corporate stuff going on.
We had a hell of an experience.
Yeah. I mean, the only non-corporate gym I can think of right in Delaware is the training center. Where you're not going to be treated the same way as, those corporate gyms. But yeah, I mean, doing that, nothing really changed for me. But what did change was watching other people. And, that's what made me put out, I have my own training program out where I put the same or different workouts every single week. So, people can try it out on my website and you get 7 days for free. And if you want to continue, it's just $10 a month. In that way, because that's one of the biggest things, right? Is you go to the gym, but then people stand around. What am I going to do?
Yeah.
You have no idea. So I was like, all right, I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible for people. And luckily I'm kind of technology savvy, so I can put together a website. You can get it on your phone. You can even set it up on your home screen where you don't have to keep typing in the website. You can just click the button on your home screen and it takes you there. All these kind of things, man. I'm trying to make it as easy for people as possible. I even work with a nutritionist to see, okay, what kind of guidance do these people need to focus on their nutrition? And we work together and we put our ideas and thoughts together, and then we created something. So that's on the website too. But really, I've just been thinking about, okay, what do other people need? You know, and how can I make it as easy as possible? Because that's what we're going for in 2021 is things are just becoming easy access for people.
Yes.
You know, if it's hard for them to you know, work their way through a website, then they're just gonna exit out of it and not even go back to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Forget about it.
Yeah. So, and I think that's what it is, you know? So I try and put my full amount of information that I know and my experiences and all that kind of stuff into this kind of program. And then I also do, the main reason I have my business in the first place is I sell supplements. So it's kind of like an online version of like a GNC or vitamin shop.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I'm selling supplements that I get from distributors, but the distributors I look at are brands that are very transparent about what they put in their supplements, you know? And I think that's a big thing I wanted to focus on too was, like, let's stop lying to people, you know, with everything. Like, what's the point? You know, if we really have something, it's just like the guys we grew up looking at. It's just like them not telling us they're on steroids. What's the point of lying? You know, just tell them what you do. So to me, I don't see the point in lying, you know, and if you have a quality product, then you feel confident in selling it because there's nothing to hide.
That propriety blend.
That's what, they put everything behind that. Right. But it goes back to, you know, the guys that we grew up looking at and the fact that they had to lie. I mean, there's still guys, even the strong men.
Yeah.
You know, they won't even say that they're on anything. I'm like, dude, we know you're on something. Yeah, you're big, but to be that strong, to lift over 1,000 pounds, and then you see later in life when they shrink.
Yeah. That's why I like out the gate when I just start seeing more videos of like Larry Wills and you know how transparent Larry Wills was, and I think he said he's been using since like he was 21.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. This is a guy who's not trying to hide anything. I mean, Larry Wills is freaking shoulder pressing 135 pound barbells from his shoulders, like shoulder press, like they're dumbbells. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you know, I respect that. And I'm like, yo, I think a lot of people would appreciate if a lot of the top guys, all the guys were just fully transparent. So now it's up to you if you still want to follow me. It's up to you if you still want to, you know, buy my products, support me, those type of things. Yeah. But it's like I always think like, damn, where could I be if since, you know, I really got serious 18, 19, 20 years old in college, if I really start getting serious and saying, okay, look, this guy has my physique now. This guy has my physique. He's about my height. Let me see what he does and, you know, see how close I can get. Let me be as realistic as possible. No, I'm 5'7", eating 4,000, 5,000 calories a day is not going to be, you know, beneficial for, you know, my physique.
Right.
And, you know, now like I said, I'm 30 now, and I went through all the different type of changes. I've been, you know, big. I think my biggest is probably like 220, 225. I'm like 200 now. Like I said, I just been trying to get lean and just be lean all year round. Probably the number one person I follow today is Mr. Olympia, again, Brandon Hendrickson. Okay. And he's like Mr. Men's, he's a Men's Olympia physique. Yeah. Back-to-back champion. So I'm like, all right, this guy's about my size. Let me see what he's doing. I mean, his body looks great. So I'm like, he might be.
Still using.
Yeah, yeah.
They all are. They all are.
Yeah, I'm like, I know there's no way I'm going to look that way, but let me get halfway there.
It's just it's just about dosage.
Yep. And that's the other thing I think you were talking about, Ben. Like, these young kids, because I've seen videos of kids talking about, I'm 14 years old or I'm 16 on trend or Winnie. And it's like a lot of the guys who are doing it, they're at least seeing a doctor. You have to do it the right way. If you just buy some stuff offline or you're, I don't know, getting something from a third party, a guy in the gym, because there's been people in the gym who walk up to you like, hey, man, you want to try this? You want to try that? I can get this for you. And it's like, if you don't know what you're doing, man, you could really screw yourself up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things I was scared for long term, you know, because it really messes with your endocrine system and like fertility and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm in a point in my life where, you know, me and my wife are talking about having kids and stuff. So I was like, oh, man, I don't know if that screwed me up or not. You know, so I got to go get checked for that. So we'll see what happens. But, I mean, honestly, I feel fine because I didn't, and that's one thing too, I did it incorrectly. Because there's a certain period of time where you stay on them, and then you do the post-cycle therapy and stuff, right? I never really did the post-cycle therapy. I just, you know, stopped.
Okay.
So I never brought my body back down to its natural levels. You know, so there's a lot of things I did wrong. And, you know, I just pray that I didn't screw up too bad. But again, I don't regret it because it gave me a certain type of confidence in myself. And it really brought me to a different place mentally. You know, I was very, I don't know what to say. Like I didn't like myself at all. I didn't like my body. You know, growing up, I was always like the little guy and stuff, you know, but once I started getting bigger and started lifting, people start calling me Big Ben and Big Guy, and it made me feel good, like something like that, you know? And I don't know, just hearing little things like that made me feel good. And now I'm at a point in my life where I don't really care about size. You know, I've been through that. I've been through that. I've seen that.
It's a good place to be at, man.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be at.
Yeah. So now I'm more focused on, yeah, I still want to look good. You know, I still want to be strong. I think strength is what I'm focused on the most right now. But I always incorporate lifting because it helps me mentally. I think getting to know yourself and getting to know your body is the most important part. You know, and lifting really does that for you. Because you can tell, okay, if I do this, it hurts my shoulders, it hurts my rear delts, or it hurts my front delt, or I don't know, it hurts my back. You know, really getting to know your body and getting connected with yourself and how you feel about yourself. I think not a lot of people do that. And I feel you have to take a more methodical approach to the gym or to weights and to lifting and working out, where people just think like, oh, it's about losing weight. Nah, man. It's so much more than that. It's so much more about than gaining muscle or losing weight. And
yeah, I love that you just said that, man, because that's what a lot of people do not understand. So I'm happy that you're still in the fitness industry as heavy as you are. Like I said, I took a backseat. I'm just like coaching kids now. But what a lot of people don't know, it is a method to the madness in the gym.
Yeah.
And people just go into the gym and just think because they do some stuff on the machine that, bam, overnight, or I've been working out for a month, I don't see a difference. Forget this. Where's the chips at?
Yeah.
Like there's a method to the madness, man. Like you really have to go into the gym with a plan.
Yeah.
You have to learn your body. I think that's the biggest thing, learning your body. You know, going through that process of, okay, I'm a new lifter. I can train, you know, just my entire upper body a week, and I'm seeing the change. I'm seeing the difference. I'm growing. All right. Now I've been lifting for a couple years now. I'm getting stronger, but I can't do my, you know, chest and biceps today. I can't do this. So now I got to break them up in order to continue to grow. So it's important to go through that process and learn your body, because that's how I mean, you just become a better lifter. And, you know, we both trained, you know, women, you know, they always try to shy away from weights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it helps you burn even more fat in addition to just doing cardio and those type of things.
Right.
You know, it helps shape you, tone you, all those type of things.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many benefits to lifting. I mean, even as you get older, you know, with bone density and things. I mean, as a kid, I never broke a bone. I mean, I never broken anything, torn anything.
Yeah.
I'm not really a milk drinker. So
Right.
it's like, you know, with just strengthening your bones, just there's so many benefits, man.
Yeah, I mean, and especially I tell people two stories all the time because it gives you a certain type of belief in yourself, especially being stronger. And, you know, deadlifting is something I always had people do. And so even with women, no matter who you are, I would always incorporate a deadlift. I think it's important to be able to know how to pick something up off the ground. And so the first instance, I trained a nurse. So she was struggling because she would have, you know, bigger patients that would like fall off their bed and all these different things. And there was a time where she couldn't even lift the person by herself off the ground. She would have to get 2 or 3 more nurses to help her. So months of working out and lifting heavy, and keep in mind, she's a very tiny girl, small, skinny girl. And even after lifting heavy and stuff, you know, she gained a couple pounds, but she got a lot stronger. And I'll never forget the time where she came in the next day and told me how she picked someone off the ground like she deadlifted. She was like, Ben, I was so excited and I just couldn't believe, like, I was like, oh, wow. Like, I actually did that, you know, and it made me excited to think that she was excited because she's seeing the results of it. It's real life stuff. It's not about,
Definitely.
it's not about you always looking in the mirror sometimes. Because some people want that, some people don't, you know?
Yeah.
But I think it's something we should have, but also there's times where we need that in real life. And there's another moment where an older woman, this lady is probably in her late 60s. I had her deadlifting. Again, she was scared to do it because she was older. But I talked her into it, and, you know, months after doing it, one time she came in and we started working out, and then all of a sudden she just broke down crying. And I was like, oh, I was like, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, I was just thinking about what happened yesterday. I was like, okay, what happened yesterday? Because, you know, as a trainer, you're kind of like a therapist. Even though we're not licensed for it, you know, they just like to speak their mind and things like that. So she starts telling me how she picked up her grandson for the first time. Didn't even realize it. Picked up her grandson off the floor and started carrying him, walking around with him. And she was like, then all of a sudden it hit me like, I just did that. I just bent down the way you taught me and picked up my grandson and started walking around with him. I've never done that before. And I was like, hey, I was like, that's what working out is for, man. It's for those real life moments. And you don't have to train functional just to do that. You know, there's different parts of training where you can use that for real life things. And it's just a beautiful thing to see and to hear about. And that's what I loved about training. And that's what I'm trying to get people to understand now, is that it's more about losing weight. It's not about losing weight. It's not about seeing your muscle gain in the mirror. You know what I mean? Yeah, I love to see that. But that's not what it's all about. It's about what it can do for you in your mind and what it can do when you take it out into regular life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, and also what you're doing, man, you're dealing with kids that are coming up.
Yeah.
You know, so you can, you know, show them how to go out there and, hey, you need to do this to get better at this. You know, and that's going to strengthen them mentally to implore their focus and just really, you know, help them push forward in whatever they're trying to do.
I also like what keeps me going because I mean people all the time. I think the first time I was in college, one of my best friends was like, "Yo, Kendall, we don't play. We're not playing football anymore. Why are you still in here at 5 in the morning and doing all this twice a day?"
Yeah.
But like, I mean, I've told my story several times. Like, I started my journey 14, 15 years old. I was 125 pounds. Like I said, we both was smaller guys.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I came way further to where I am than a lot of people. Like my starting point was way behind everybody. So I look at it today as just what motivates me is just leading by example.
Yeah.
Because, I coach and, this is a different generation of kids. And, when we were playing ball or sports, whatever, a lot of our coaches were older. They say, do this, run here, do that, and we did it. Now these kids, they question, does coach know what he's talking about or whatever?
Yeah.
I never have those problems or issues because kids look at me and see, yo, coach know what he's talking about. Like, coach still in shape. Coach, how much you lifting? Whatever. And, it's just understood, it's respected. When I was in school, I got a bachelor's in exercise science. And, I've never ever said I was the greatest test taker, book reader.
Right.
I never considered myself a bookworm, but I am application. And I would be in, exercise science class and, some kids will be getting A's on their tests. But when we would go to the gym and, do like body tests and things like that, I'm like, yeah, how you going to be a trainer and you're also fat? Like when I go to, I don't want to shit on Planet Fitness. Everybody forgive me who go to Planet Fitness. But it's like, if the guy who's training me doesn't look like the picture of fitness or look like somebody I want to look like, then it's like, how do you trust that?
Yeah.
So like what pushes me today is just leading by example. And like you said, I have 2 young kids coming up under me now. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure when they become teenagers that I'm still in good enough shape to push them just like I push all my athletes now.
Right.
Because, the dad bod is real. And it's like, you tell your kids, like, hey, I used to do this, I used to do that. But if you are still in good shape and your kids see you going to the gym, your kids see you still running, they're going to be like, all right, Dad, how far I need to run? Because I believe you. I see you. I know you're in good shape. I see these other daddies out here and I see you, Dad. So what do I got to do to be the best track athlete, the best football player? Those type of things, man. So, I mean, that's what motivates me. I was in the gym last night till like 12:30. Like, gotta do it, man. Like, like you said, what it does mentally, like, I do so much in the day. If I feel like shit almost, I feel unaccomplished.
Right.
After I go to work, I have practice, I come home, do the dinner time, put the kids to bed. If I don't go to the gym, I don't care if I'm going to get 3 hours of sleep. If I don't go to the gym, I just feel unsuccessful that day. I feel like I didn't get better.
Yeah.
I need to feel that fullness in my body or I just feel like a mortal again. Only I guess my fitness people understand that. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean, I even feel that way on my days off. Yeah. If I take a little rest day, I know my body needs it. Mm-hmm. And but there's just something like, I don't know, I just feel different. I just feel like I didn't get out what I need to. Also, I used to be a very angry person. And lifting weights has helped me with that. You know, it takes a lot out of you, so you can't be angry. You know, it's the same with, I talk about anxiety and depression. You know, if you put your body under intense stress when you work out, you're not going to have enough energy to be anxious about anything, to worry about anything, to be depressed about anything. You know, some people have real issues with it, and, you know, you can find medications or therapy for it, but I don't think enough people try exercising and moving their body and really pushing themselves to their potential and their limits. And I think if more people did that, we would have a much different society. I don't think depression and anxiety would be so prevalent in this world right now. And I mean, and a lot of it goes to social media. A lot of it just goes with the times, I guess, because you didn't hear about it a lot when, you know, like our parents were younger. You know, they don't talk about all the people that dealt with that stuff. So now I feel like we just have to adapt, and you have to figure out what works for you and get off the couch and just really do something. No matter what it is, just moving your body, and you don't have to go to the gym. You can go outside and walk, or I don't know, man, do something. It's just something in this world that everything comes to us very easy. And this is something that doesn't, no matter what you do. You know? So I think it sucks to say, but I think going forward, I think we're just gonna keep having less of it as the years go by, you know?
Yeah.
And it sucks to talk like that, but the way things go and how easy things are becoming for people, it just, I don't know. There's never going to be a simpler way to get fit, to get healthy, you know, than to just do the basics.
Talk about easy, how stuff is easy now. So I just found out like last month, like people can have surgery for abs. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh yeah, they could put anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like they say like some men, some celebs have like this abdominal surgery.
Yeah.
I'm like, you gotta be shit.
Yeah, man.
And I'm like, some of these like women, men, I'm just like, what will they think of next?
Yeah. Yeah, you know the you ever see the movie Juno?
Yeah, a while ago.
Yeah. So the girl that played Juno is now a boy.
In real life?
In real life, yeah. So she transitioned to a man. And she just got the ab implants.
You know I'm going to Google this after we get off there.
Yeah. Do it. Wow. Yeah, you'll see the picture. Yeah. I mean, they look real. So it was a good job.
Yo, so what is it? Is it muscle? Or...
No, it's implants.
What the heck?
That's crazy, they just put stuff in there, and it looks real.
Yo, who came up with this?
It's crazy, man.
That's amazing.
You can do anything you want.
You could literally build a body now. Like,
you really can.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen that guy, but he's like the human Ken doll.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, you ever seen him? Like, he has implants and different surgeries everywhere. Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, why waste 12 months a year, 100,000 hours? All that
money, rather than just putting in an hour a day, or maybe even less than that, half hour a day.
For real. Like, yo, my favorite quote that I tell to anybody, because people still reach out to me, family members, coworkers, just because they see the lifestyle that I live and, you know, what I do. I tell everybody, man, it's going to cost you. There's a cost for everything.
Of course.
You're going to pay the price now through sweat, time, energy. Going to the gym, going to the park, walking, drinking water every day. You're going to pay the price up front now, or you're going to pay the price later on when you're older, in your 60s, your 70s, and your health isn't where you want it to be. You got to go to the doctor. You're going to physical therapy, paying co-pays. You're going to pay.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. It's cheaper to pay that price now, is what I tell everybody, man.
Right. But it's just like with anything, man. It's just like, yeah, I mean, it's just like with anything. You pay the price, you get something back. You know what I mean? Like, and I just don't think enough people are willing to pay the price, and instead of immediately getting the reward, for this, you got to wait for it. But by doing that, dude, it feels so much better. It's it's so much more rewarding that you had to do all that work yourself and go through the sweat and the pain and the discipline to not eat certain things. To go through all that, it's just so rewarding. And I wish people would be willing to put in that amount of time to get that feeling, because you'll never know another feeling better than that.
Exactly. I mean, you go to sleep much better. Mm-hmm. And it's like, we're still relatively young.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I don't think people understand that. Like, we are still relatively young. I turned 31 in like 17, 18 days.
Yeah.
Like, we have so much life left to live. So to be like out of shape now, and it's like, you see your peers, I see my peers, and it's like, I'm going to keep doing this. The older we get, the more I'm just going to be standing alone by myself.
Yeah, man.
But, I'm willing to make the sacrifice. I know a lot of people not willing to make the sacrifice. I understand it. Like, you got to be crazy to work 19-hour days, only sleep 4 hours. You could be getting more sleep, but you choose to go to the gym and try to at least maintain your fitness. So it's a sacrifice that a lot of people choose not to make, man, because, the sleep is so good. My philosophy is, look, man, work hard now. I can sleep later.
Right. There you go. So what kind of advice would you give someone getting into fitness now that doesn't really have any knowledge about it?
What age are we talking about?
Let's say like around your 18, 19-year-olds.
Okay. I would tell somebody to do your research. Definitely do your research. See what your body can do. Don't just go in there and try to do things too fast. It's a long journey. You don't need to be taking protein shakes and all that stuff from the rip. I didn't even have protein shakes until like I was a senior in high school, really. And I was seeing progress from that. When you're just first starting out, your body is going to just respond to that change so quickly. And I'm like, from there, get a notebook. I still keep my workouts in my phone just so I could go back and track your progress. You are your canvas. Don't compare yourself to others. I think a lot of us got caught up in, I could say I did also, a lot of us got caught up in, trying to rush too fast, trying to get it too fast. You look into the left and the right. And I mean, social media makes that tough now, because it's like this other 18-year-old over here in Russia looks like, a Greek god. But it's like, in this progress of you being a novice, learn your body type.
Sounds good, man. And you know what? I appreciate you doing this, man. I appreciate you coming on here. And you know, and that question, you know, was pretty cool to go over and answer, because I thought about that a while ago, but then when you brought it up, it just made me think about it even more. And I was like, you know, I think transparency is the key. I think, you know, right now, as people, if we're trying to sell someone something, if we're trying to lead by example, I think you got to be transparent. I think that makes you a better person. I think it shows your character. And I think that's really all we can do, is lead by example and be transparent.
No doubt, man.
But yeah, man, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me, man. We gotta do this again.
Yeah, man, definitely.